Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's her last name. That way, if you want to find any of these people or their stuff, there's the information for that. I'll sip out of my coffee. What do we got going on here? Okay, so just gotta try to put these over here where they won't fall all over the place. Okay. Capricorn. Well, I want to say wellness, but it does say forgiveness. The situation you're dealing with, there's a history to it, definitely a big history to it. And this may fit more in the future rather than the past, because there's something you're going to discover. Somebody did something that very much you thought was wrong, or you didn't like what they did. Something went wrong, but you're going to discover in the future why things played out the way they did. And it's not like you're finding missing pieces. You're finding faulty pieces. Kind of like, oh, that wasn't what was really happening. Or somebody told me this and that other person told me the same thing, so I thought it was true. But when I found out what actually happened, what those two people told me was not actually what happened. And that's its own thing. But you're looking back at the past, you thought it was this. And you're finding out that is not what was going on. Here's what actually happened, and here's how I know. This is what actually happened. Somebody must have got their dates mixed up or whatever, because this is what truly happened, and you know for sure this is what actually happened. This is changing the whole situation for you, because there's forgiveness here with the discovery. And it's almost like you're forgiving a situation, but part of you is kind of like, I thought this was happening. That was not what was happening, so it's kind of like I feel like I misjudged it. I feel like I treated somebody harshly, so I kind of feel like I need forgiveness for that as well. But it's basically because things that you thought were in place were not. It's weird. To me, it's weird because it's kind of like, it's one of those moments where you're like, no, that's not what was happening. It's almost like it's like in black and white, hard proof. Like, no, that's not at all what was happening. Here's what was really happening. And you're just like, no, I know what was really going on now. So I saw that in the wrong light. I saw it in the wrong light. So now I just kind of have to own that. You've got isolation with the High Priestess. I feel like for a while there's been a distance between you and whatever's going on, because you thought that was the right thing to do. You thought that was the right way to handle it based on that information for the past. Because of the way you saw it, because of the way you thought it was actually happening and playing out, that's what you did. Now you're looking back kind of like, maybe that wasn't the best way for me to handle it. The thing is, with what you thought was true, it was the right way to handle it because of what you perceived to be the truth at the time. So it's kind of like a catch-22. You know what I mean? For what you really thought it was going on, it was the right way to handle it. The only reason you know differently now is because of the truth coming forward, and now you're like, well, all right, that wasn't the right way to handle it. But if I had this information, that would have went differently. It's a complicated situation. It's really kind of complicated is what I'm getting. Now, the situation itself is going through some type of change. The sun with the Wheel of Fortune coming in here is making me feel like things are coming better. There's a lot coming to light. You don't seem to be the only one who's finding out the truth. I don't think you're alone in this boat. I think other people are also, even if you're not aware of it, other people are also finding out at the same time. The wheel is coming in with the sun card, like something is improving for the whole situation. The thing is, this, is it releasing or, no, yeah. Things are getting better. Things are definitely getting better. You got This is in the environment. This is behind the scenes. There's still problems. There's still problems going on. There's other components to this situation. If you take what you thought you knew and you have replaced that with new information which you know to be true, there's still a lot of other things going on around this thing, whatever this issue is, that you don't know about. There's a lot of problems here still. There's still a lot of problems. You got confusion, you've got mysticism, you've got rejection, or no, it's release. You got release. The release is really, really kind of interesting to me because things are falling away. Things are falling apart. You're finding out information because somebody's losing control. That's the release. Somebody's losing control of the information. And the situation is getting better, but that's the expansion right on top. But I feel like this is not because somebody wants it to, because I think it's because somebody lost control of the situation. I think that's why this is happening, which is seeming to be a good thing at the moment. I don't think the person this is happening to would feel that way, but it is going to have a better turn of events. Confusion, a lot of confusion. It's a mess. It's a mess. Ironically, on the outside, it looks like it's getting better, and it truly is, actually, because the reason it's getting better is because everybody knows what's going on. Everything's being aired out. Like the laundry is being aired out. There is a problem. There's the problem. You can't deny it. It is getting better, but because they can't hide it anymore. This person can't hide it. This is actually the wheel turning in their favor. It's weird. It's a really weird thing. It's not like they chose for this to happen. It's like the universe said, "Oh, it's enough of that crap." Threw it right out the window. Like, there's your laundry all out in the front yard. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. Sorry, not sorry. I feel like you need to know that like this person is not choosing for this to come forward. It's not a noble effort. It's kind of like confusion and just things just falling apart. That's why. Just to be on the forefront, I guess, just so you know that. Wisdom and the Queen of Cups. I don't think the secrets are going to hold up any longer. I don't think so. When I'm seeing the wisdom with this, it's kind of like, you know what? There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. And it's kind of like the secrets they're not helping. And I feel like there's a lot of people coming forward like, if you give out not you, but whoever you're dealing with, if you give out these secrets, they're not going to hold, they're not going to hold water anymore. If you keep trying to hold these secrets, it's just going to cause you more pain. Let the secrets go. I feel like that's something like that. It's kind of like, is it you trying to convince them? Because it might be. Kind of like, stop holding the secrets. And I feel like you might even be giving examples, like, I used to hold secrets about this or that. And the longer I held them, the worse it felt, the worse things got. When I just put it out there, if I could finally do something. It freed me. I untied my own hands. I gave myself the freedom to actually deal with the situation and do something with it. Secrets just make more pain. And I feel like that may be what you're telling this person. I feel like you're trying to help this person. I really feel like you're trying to help them. Kind of like, these secrets you're holding, that's not a favor to anybody, especially you. They got this thing about perfection, and they want to be seen in a certain light. But I feel like what you're saying is like, what does it matter if at some point it'll just fall apart anyway? You can make it look as pretty and nice as long as you want to, but at some point it's just going to fall apart. And when it falls apart, everybody's going to know it was bullcrap anyway. So why do that to yourself? You can't keep it up forever. You could try to keep it up for a long time, but sooner or later it will fall apart again. And might as well just face it now while you're in control. You're changing this person's perception, but it's face down, which tells me you don't know that. The more you're telling this person, like, you're really waking them up. Kind of like, hey, you're not doing yourself any favors by doing this. By trying to act like things are better than they actually are, you're not helping yourself or anyone else. They have this, I feel like they have this idea of perfection. And they just want to be seen in this beautiful light. But you're like, listen, it's just, you're not doing yourself any favors. It's like, why put forth this mirage when you don't feel that way? Why not get rid of that mirage and actually find a way to get happiness instead of pretending you're happy? How about getting rid of that facade and finding things that actually do make you happy. Because, the facade, like, I don't know of anybody who puts forth a facade of happiness that's actually happy. If somebody's putting forth a fake front that they're happy, you don't really need to put forth a fake front that you're happy if you're actually happy. So it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? You put forth it. You know what I mean. It's just a waste of time. I feel like you're giving this person something to stand on, and like you're giving them something to work towards. Kind of like, they might not divulge all their secrets all at once, but they're going to stop holding as many, and they're going to start bringing things forward to try to create an actual moment of happiness instead of just a pretend one. Because I feel like they're pretending to be happy, and you know it. And you're pointing it out, like, why pretend to be happy when it just keeps you from... By pretending to be happy, you're keeping yourself from actually being happy. It's just so counterproductive. You got the soulmate card on your side, which the way I read this card in this deck is like you're right on point. You know what's going on here. You're handling it correctly. You're helping this person the best way you can. I'm not really feeling a romantic feel with this card right now, so I don't know what to tell you with that. I'm just not feeling it. I'm just feeling you're on point. You're telling people your truth. You're helping this person. You're moving this person forward. You're doing everything you can to be like... I feel like you're giving this person even a platform with you, saying, what do you got? Just tell me what you got. Like, I'm a human, you're human. There's a lot of problems, I know that, but just tell me what you got, and then maybe I could help you find a better way to look at it. Just tell me what the truth is, and we can do something with it. Like, you're giving them this platform to be honest with you without judgment. I think that's extremely helpful, extremely gracious, because like you're highlighting it. Like, just tell me what you got. Even if you thought that it should be a no-brainer, apparently you need to say it because they need to hear it. And it might not have anything to do with you personally, just that's how they feel about life. You know what I mean? So, things are going to get better. I like that. This person will drive you nuts, though. Sorry. Things will get better, but they're going to drive you cuckoo. Sorry. I don't know. At least there's improvement. I almost feel guilty saying that. This person is going to come forward with things that you're not going to be very impressed with, is what I'm getting. Like, I feel like you're opening this door, like, tell me the truth, and you mean it. You do mean it. But then you're like, what is going on with this person? I'm getting this like this, which is telling me I don't think it's so much... I don't know. I feel like you're very conflicted with choices this person is making. And you're just kind of like, well, I mean, those are choices. And I guess that's been going on for a while. But part of you is like, oh, that's a choice. Like, oh, that's a choice. It's a choice I would not make. And I feel like you're kind of there, like, I would not make that choice, but they're already making those choices. And you're kind of like, I don't even know what to say about it. That's your energy is kind of like, oh. It's kind of one of those energies, like, oh. They have to make their own decisions. You understand that. You're on point with that, but you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm okay with those decisions. You're kind of in this quagmire, kind of like, I don't want to make them feel like they have to tell me lies so that I'm okay with their decisions. But at the same time, some of these decisions I don't really like. But you're kind of like, if I try to push on them what I think they should be doing, there's a good chance they'll just go back to like pretending they're happier than they actually are. It's a situation. Like, I feel like the situation is getting better. Better things are coming forward. And I feel like this is a situation where you want them to keep being honest with you, and then you want to like talk out the situations. Like, okay, you made that choice. How did that work? How were you feeling about that? I feel like you have to steer away. Do your best to steer away from saying, this is what I would do. Steer away from that. And more going down the line of like, oh, you chose that. How's that going? What happened from that? What results are you seeing from that? If they ask you what you would do, be very minimal. Only give them little pieces and say, well, you might want to try that road. Go explore down that road, like a safer road that you're aware of that you would go down. Like, try that road. But you want to be very minimal is what I'm getting. Because I'm getting like they're starting to figure things out. They're starting to reevaluate what they're doing. Some of these choices are the real reason why they're unhappy. They're making some choices that are not the best choices, but I feel like you got to be very much kind of like almost like a little bit of the psychiatrist. Because tell me how you came to that choice. How do you feel about that now? What other options do you think you have? You got to get them to think it out for themselves. You just got to be careful. Don't tell them what you would do as much, because I feel like that's just putting it back in a quagmire. It's just them pretending to do things even though they don't want to do things. It's going to take a lot of work with this person, whatever you're dealing with, because I feel like it's a slow and steady growth, but it's kind of like one of those things where you just want them to keep being honest with you, and you just got to keep touching base, like, oh, you made that decision. What led you there? How's that going? Oh. If they ask you, again, be minimal. You want to be minimal because you don't want them to go back into that bad habit of pretending they're happier than they actually are. That's all. And that's what we got. Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.